Hi, thanks very much for joining me. I'm Dean from Woodwork Journey, and today I'm going to try and make this video as quick as possible, under 10 minutes if I can. So, it's first of all, sorry about the beard. I'm a bit of a mess because I've just made a drying cupboard for freshly sawn wood, which I'll tell you about more if you want to at a later date, but go and check out my Instagram if you're remotely interested. Anyway, I have wanted an 18 gauge nailer for quite some time because my hands don't always work properly, and trying to hold things all in place while I'm gluing up or even getting clamps on is quite challenging. So an 18 gauge nailer will help get some nails in there to hold stuff while the glue dries. That's the plan. But I had a corded Parkside one for quite some time, well, for a little while before it kind of exploded and brads went everywhere. So I've been looking for something that's a little bit better than that. I was thinking about the Ryobi. However, the Ryobi cordless affair is like 170 odd quid plus the battery, I think, and charger. Now, I've been scouring Amazon to try and find if there's anything cheap and cheerful worth getting, and I came up with this. Now this came up, it seems like a model that a lot of companies have rebadged, but this is a battery Draper version. It looks very similar to a bunch of other ones. It's about 160 quid, I think, thereabouts, including the charger though. Brand new, 150, 160, but this one was secondhand on Amazon for 93 quid. So I maxed out the credit card and we've got one. So I thought I would give you my first impressions of it, just to let you know what it's all about if you so wish, because I can't see anything online about or I can't see very much about this Draper affair. This is the nailer stapler. Now the advert said there were some scratches on the body, but otherwise it was all fine. The packaging was a bit knackered, so the packaging isn't the best. It's quite a heavy old package, mind, but yeah. So let's get into it. Clearly somebody sent it back. Whether that means it's just no good or not, but the good thing about being Amazon is at least we can send it back if we find that it doesn't work. So there is a bit of a safety margin there. Alrighty, it comes in a nice solid case like that. Oh, that's interesting. It's got, can you see that little red tie wrap situation going on there? That's a lock that means that nobody can get into it. So whether that happens from the factory or whether that happens from because I can't imagine if someone sent it back they would be putting a red little tie wrap on. Can you? Right, let's crack into it. Ooh! Let me show you what we're dealing with. Okay, so I'm really hoping this works, but we've got a thing going on there, but we've got Amazon delivered 5th of Jan 2022, so that could be from the person who had it before. So I think it has been used, but let's have a little look at it. We've got the charging unit right there. Hopefully that works. We've got possibly some brads. I mean, this could be something where someone's bought it and gone, do you know what, I need it for one job. Yeah, and so there's hardly any, well, there's no brads in there. That's just staples going on. That's the gun. It's quite a heavy beast, it really is. And there's the battery. Have we got a battery indicator? We have. Now, does red mean it hasn't got charge or it has? I don't know. But yeah, that's a fairly significant weighty beast, that one. Oof. Oh look, we've got a little thingy there. What have we got? Green. What does this mean? Green LED, no nails or staples. There's a little reading thing under there. And to get that out, I take it, bosh, some of that action. Right, let me get some staples in here and we'll have a little look and see if I've got a £93 bargain or a big old paperweight that I need to send back. Well, I've had a go and it works. I'm really impressed. And the actual depth setter bit seems to work. I mean, this is sort of a heavy bit of, I don't know, this is in pallet wood, so I don't know what it is, but it's quite heavy. But I will try it for the first time on a bit of pine, and then I don't know if this is a Roco or Meranti or Sapele or whatever, but I'll try it on this because it's the only hardwood that I've got. So yeah, let's have a little look and see, because I have noticed that first of all it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to line up, but second of all it's something where you've really got to sort of do some practice shots to dial it in. But so far things are good. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. So this is what I was just practicing on with different depths and all that sort of nonsense, but let me just show you what I'm talking about. If we go in the side there, and we've got it on, it can go on single or continuous fire. We've got it on single, and that is the first one on that side. There you go, you can just about see that there, and that is set in perfectly. It's nice and flush, it's not poking out the top, no denting or anything like that. However, if the front wheel here has a little sort of make it harder or softer thing, if I go max hardness, which let's face it, most of us blokes would do, then on that one you might be able to see, even without pressing down very hard, it has kind of pushed in the thingy. Now all I've got at the moment are some 18 gauge tack-wise 18 gauge 30mm affairs, so I haven't got any longer ones to try it with. But yeah, okay, let's go to the opposite end and go for the softest, and you can see that that one is poking up quite the way right there, and that's, you know, what you'd expect. But if you take some time to dial it back, a little bit more than that, touch more than that, and there you go. That was the last one that went down there, and we are flush. So that all goes rather well. Just looked at that. Do you reckon that might be oak? Anyway, I hope it isn't, because I've just wrecked a piece of oak. Let's see what happens when I do it into some softwood like this. So the same setting, and we've got, it's just poking out the top just a little tiny bit. So we'll pop a little bit more power into it. And that's the one. You might be able to see that. It's made a bit more of a mark around the hole. So a couple of things. No pressure, a little bit of pressure. So there you go, no pressure at all placed on it, and we had a little bit of a protrusion, a little bit of pressure, and we've got that marking. So I'm going to loosen it up a little bit more. Right, now we're getting there. So that one went in there, and it's nice and flush. Now when it comes to the constant setting, flick that over there, you keep your finger on the trigger, and then every time you press, it should fire a nail. So most times it works. It didn't work like twice there on that one, but most times it came through fine, and you can see that they're all fine and dandy. Right, let's see what happens with this hardwood. Oh, switch it on to single again. First one straight in there, no worries. A hint of a protrusion at the top. So let's push the nail in a little bit more with that. It's a little bit flasher. There we go. Okay, so I'll do this one like in this corner. And that one is now flush as you like. Tell you what, you know, I am quite impressed with this. No issue with pushing the brad all the way through. This is a bit of a beast. So there you have it. Hopefully a nice quick video. This is the Draper cordless affair. This is a 20 volt nailless stapler. D20 this one is. Obviously I purchased it, but this one, like I say, second hand, 93 quid on Amazon. It does have a few scratches around it, but it seems to be working like an absolute champ. This is going to make my life so much easier, but it is very, very heavy. So do be aware of that. It is super heavy. And also the other thing is where you've got this end piece that that you have to push in, the nail comes out a little distance away from that. So I am going to have to take a minute to kind of remember how far away from the end the nail comes out. So yeah, so I can get it where I want it to go. But otherwise, I'm thinking this is a little bit of a monster. Now I imagine if it does have if it gets blockages or whatever, I would think that we've got two or some Allen keys going on there and maybe at the top there. That might be a pain. You might have to take that out, although I've not looked at the instructions at all. I mean, putting the nails in, super easy, super easy. Slides it out. These are some shorter nails. Slide them in at the bottom, bosh, and you're good to go. So, you know, that, well done, Draper. We don't think of Draper as offering many sort of quality funky tools these days, but like I say, it's heavy as balls. It's got to be a good 4 kilos, I imagine. But yeah, I will leave a link to it down below. Not to this one for 93 quid because it was only one, but it just goes to show that with this kind of design, I reckon there's a few of them like this. So keep an eye out for second-hand stuff on Amazon and see if there's something that tickles your taste buds. But thanks very much for joining me. If you liked it, please do hit that subscribe button and make sure you do follow me over across on Instagram as well. And you can see a whole bunch of other stuff that I get up to over there. Right, thanks very much. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.